Hi. So this deck of cards was compiled in order to facilitate getting through the MCAT-style passage, aldehydes and ketones. And the information contained in them deals more so with the biological and chemical aspects rather than any physics, all right? That would be the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase. And some groups don't have good copies of this, or they lack it, so they can't metabolize, alcohol, I guess. Well, they can't metabolize methanol, I think. You know what I'm trying to say. Formaldehyde is metabolized in the liver to formic acid by F blank E D blank E. Formaldehyde dehydrogenase. So if you lack this enzyme, that's not good, because what will happen is you'll begin to self-embalm like a cadaver. All right, draw the structural formula of pyridinium chlorochromate. So that's commonly known as PCC. And the molecular formula is C5H6N plus. So right away you can kind of tell that this is an aromatic portion, and CrO3Cl negative. This is the anion portion. So this pyridinium, the EM usually suggests that it's a positive ion. Chlorochromate, and the suffix -ate usually suggests that it's a negative anion. So this thing is a salt, but not in the traditional sense of having a simple metal and non-metal. So here goes the structure. Here goes the pyridinium portion. And you can kind of see that's like a nitrogenous base because it's an aromatic cyclic compound with an amine group within it. And then here goes the chloro and then the chromate anion portion. A solution of pyridinium chlorochromate PCC in dichloromethane will blank an alcohol. So what will this solution do to an alcohol? It will oxidize it. And what I mean by oxidize is it'll go from having a single bond, the carbon that's attached to the oxygen will go from this. So here goes your alcohol functional group. It'll go to this. Well, actually, and then I don't know, the negative portion of PCC will take that proton. Okay, so I'm not sure whether it's the nitrogen or it's the chlorochromate that usurps this hydrogen. But you don't need to know that much detail for the MCAT. All you need to know is that PCC would oxidize an alcohol to a carbonyl group. Oxidation or reduction occurs when carbon atoms gain bonds to more electronegative elements. For instance, oxygen, nitrogen, and chlorine. Kind of just sort of hinted to this answer. That would be oxidation. So if carbon, the more bonds carbon gains to a more electronegative species, so you have this, and you go to this, that's oxidation. Or if you have this, then you go to this, have like a nitrile, that's oxidation. Okay? Oxidation or reduction occurs when carbon atoms gain bonds to less electronegative elements, for instance, H, hydrogen. And I think you'll be able to get this answer. That would be reduction. The boiling points of organic alcohols decrease or increase with the addition of carbons. So if you lengthen the carbon chain, what's going to happen? The boiling point is going to decrease. I was thinking it would increase. I might have messed up on this one, so you should double check me on that. I won't speak on it any further just in case I'm wrong. Oxidation of secondary alcohols leads to the formation of K blank. So oxidation of secondary alcohols leads to the formation of K blank. All right, you might have guessed it, that would be ketone. The chemical equation for the oxidation of formaldehyde to formic acid using Tollens reagent. So write the chemical equation. All right, so here we have our formaldehyde. That's going to look something like this. Yeah, at the end of these sticks, there's a hydrogen. And then you add some of this. This is part of your Tollens reagent. It's not the actual one, but this is like the generic thing, to denote a Tollens reagent. So this is silver 1 oxide. And then you go to this. You go to formic acid, and it's basically a carboxylic acid with 1 carbon. But the way you can tell whether this oxidation occurs is if silver precipitates out in your beaker where you're performing the experiment, and at the bottom of the glass you'll get what's called a silver mirror. What is the common name for propanone? Any female who gets her nails done should know this. That would be acetone nail polish remover.